everybody, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Once again, we are live talking about video games and sharing our thoughts about them. I'm John. I'm online, posting, discussing, thinking. And with me this week is Elvie.
I'm here. I'm also online, not hosting though, but also discussing and thinking. Would you?
Are you posting?
Oh, I thought you said hosting. I'm so sorry. Yes, I am posting.
That's good. I said I was hosting and posting, so,
okay.
You're still right. You're still right. You're co-hosting. You're on here
that's
too.
fair.
Don't worry.
That's fair. That's totally valid.
You're on here talking.
Yeah.
Folks, I will... Just to be honest, of course, the times that we are recording are tough. I mean, it has been tough in general, but it is even more tough. Things are bad. Things are bleak right now, but Video Game Choo Choo presses on. The train does not stop rolling, and I hope that our podcast can give you a brief respite in troubling times. However, I guess I'll just real quick get out in front and say, and just give you a quick idea of some places that you can donate some money to if you so wish to choose to do so. Let me pull that up. There's a good list that I saw. Yeah, pretty much the best places that you could send money to right now. Probably the Black Visions Collective, if you want to Google that. Reclaim the Block. And the North Star Health Collective, those are all good general places to send some funds to. You just go ahead and Google them. Because I'm not gonna read URLs out loud on a podcast.
Yeah.
That doesn't help
Yeah, you should be able to find it.
Yeah. But then of course there are some other like freedom funds and all that. There's the Minnesota Freedom Fund, which I guess they are sort of routing funds to other people, so that it's a good place to send some money. And just, in general, just keep an eye on social media, and keep up with where protests are happening, and keep an eye on where things are happening, and support everyone you possibly can, because, change will only happen as long as we work together.
Yeah, and then check in on your friends, your neighbors, what have you. People you care about, because that's important too. Yep. Mm-hmm. And as much as I'm a proponent of if you see a GoFundMe and you feel like it's something you want to support, and definitely share. Just to also be careful, because sometimes in situations like these, some pretty stinky people, I call them stinky, would be more than willing to exploit such a vulnerable time period and scam you out. So just be careful. So that's why it's kind of more. It's better to look at a nonprofit organization or the things like John has discussed, saying they clearly have an LLC license to show if you were to ask them, that's much better, and you would trust them to be able to forward the funds and money to who actually needs them, right? So definitely, double check, even double check what we say. So don't. Of course, it's good that you don't trust us 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always be skeptical.
Yes, take care of yourselves, take care of everyone around you, and just, help out however you can, because we're all in this together. So we will go ahead and move on to the video games. I know it's a little weird to kind of just go into gaming during times like these, but again, this is one of the ways that we all can kind of gather together and help out a little bit to keep things from being too overbearing, because we do care about you all. So I guess we could just get started talking about some dumb bullshit that's going on in the world of video games. Elvie.
Yeah.
Let's check in with you. How have you been doing?
I've been doing good. As a person, yeah. doing good. Like, had some ups and downs, but I think I have a pretty good support network, so that's great. I've also kind of took a brief break away from video games. I felt like I was playing a little too much, or like my eyes glued on a screen. I think, as with many of us right now, especially those who have the opportunity to work from home, you probably are kind of sick of attending like 5 meetings per day just because people want to check in on you constantly. But nonetheless, I have been jumping back in, and what a fun time to be in. Right now to jump in on what is recently the huge Phantasy Star Online 2 debacle going on. And many places have already covered this, and I assure you, if you are one of those people who is a huge fan of this series and was like, oh, finally, this game that came out technically almost 8 years ago in Japan, finally, there is a North American server here for me to hop on. But bad news for you, you cannot, or at least you can try to, but I can't assure you you will. This game is literally unplayable right now. And again, many places have already covered this and have already surmised what is wrong with this game is not the problem or the issue of the game itself, but despite the fact, as I must reiterate, this game came out 8 years ago. Despite the fact that, there's all this time, in between in terms of like planning an inevitable North American launch or international launch. I think it's only North America, actually, for this game, for this online game. There's a huge slew of problems that are even beyond what is typical of MMO launches. I think this, or like online game launches, I don't know if like it's best to categorize Phantasy Star as an MMO. I don't know, it's a little iffy. But point to get to the point, I think this is like one of the worst online game launches I've ever experienced.
Wow.
And I think the collective online community will agree because just to sum it up, Phantasy Star Online and Phantasy Star, like they're kind of like two. They're kind of like two different. I believe. Again, I'm a little confused. I'm not that like attached to the series. I just kind of jumped in on it because I was very curious about it, to be honest. But yeah, it's a series of role-playing games, and it has a pretty decent fan following, even overseas, even beyond Japan. And I think, like, Sega does have this track record of not really respecting their IPs that people happen to like, or otherwise mishandling them, and unfortunately it happens here. I think with Phantasy Star in particular is that I feel like this should be a bigger thing, too, in such a way as Final Fantasy is. Like, it's kind of shocking how, if you bring it up, there's bound to be someone say, oh yeah, I love those games, like I played it when I was younger, or stuff like that. And it's just kind of weird that otherwise it's kind of in the shadows of what is considered to be a more cult-like SaaS game, but I feel like if there was better push in marketing of this game, it would be definitely up there. But anyway, back to Phantasy Star Online 2 specifically. Again, I need to keep repeating this. This game came out 8 years ago, yet it's only being released in North America now for some reason. But instead of like giving it its own like exclusive, I don't know, space online, on something like Steam, or even on its own like separate DRM free thing, like whoever is handling the North American like release of this game is for some reason decide, we're gonna make this a Microsoft exclusive. So right now it's only like on Xbox and the Microsoft Store for PC users. So I am a PC user, so I'm gonna relay my experience on that. And that's kind of going to be that's kind of the experience you're seeing everyone complain about. Like, I don't know how Xbox players are reacting to the game right now, but the biggest problem, first and foremost, is the game is really big for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's like 11 gigabytes, if not a little more. So you have to, unfortunately, that's the only place you can install it legally. Like, you have to, it's for free, it's free to play. You have to install it from the Microsoft Store. And again, you can give it a bit, if you have if you have good drives, it's fine, whatever. And if you have decent space, it's fine. It's like no big deal, 11 gigabytes, whatever. There's a lot of MMOs that are like a little bigger than that. But here's where the problem lies. You do the whole thing where you open up the game and then an installer pops up, a launcher pops up. And, tons of like online games have this like secondhand like thing. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. And it's like the whole thing where there's a bulletin saying events and updates. There's like some Vocaloid event going. I'm like, what? I'm missing this? Upsetting, but anyway, I don't know what's going on. They're like, it looks like they're launching a jillion events, because again, I need to, like, the fourth time I'm saying this game came out 8 years ago. I think they're like bunching up all these events like all the North American fans like miss in those past 8 years at once on this launch week. But anyway, point is, Yeah, the only place you can get it is the Microsoft Store. You launch it, boot it, whatever. Launcher pops up of the actual game, the installer, and then it says, "Oh, you gotta like install additional files," and they don't. It's not really transparent of how big those are. And again, maybe it's my own fault with like how my computer's not really optimized, and I definitely need to consider upgrading parts soon, or a whole thing, whatever. But it takes a while. It takes a good while. But many people, including myself, have run into the issue where whatever else it's updating is so big that the installer crashes in the middle of installation. And it's like, oh shit, whatever. I'm going to just restart. And I'm going to assume it's going to pick up where it left off. It does not. It literally starts from the beginning. It does not use container folders, which my best way to explain this is that it literally reduplicates what it tried to install previously. So it's adding in more copies of like these installation files. What? From the beginning, and then you're stuck in the cycle because the installer keeps crashing because you're running out of space because now you have all these orphan files of Phantasy Star Online 2 on your like drives because you have no idea where they are. So this is where the other problem lies with the fact that it's only on the Microsoft Store right now. When you install something from the Microsoft Store, as someone who's like uses the Windows OS, oftentimes like it's kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like it's an app-specific service, so you don't quite see all the files if you wanted to. Like, you have to really do some digging. If you install a game from somewhere, like like any other like Steam, like Steam, for instance, if you install a game, like the folders of where everything is, where every single is like hidden from your view, and that's kind of the issue here. We're like, so you now have this issue of like all these files being built up because for some reason the installer's not deleting the previous copies of the installation files and other components needed, and you kind of have to dig in to delete those first because otherwise you're taking up more space trying to install this single game. And for the average person, who's just like, I just want to install a game, they probably don't know what to do. Like it's like, oh, why am I having all these problems? And worst of all is that, including myself, even other people have discovered, like, okay, who discovered where exactly you can find these files and probably delete them manually, which is a pain. That should not be an issue. Like, there's this weird thing too, where there's probably even more files hidden that you couldn't quite find as to where they are, and you end up having less space than you did on your drives than you did prior to trying to attempt to install this game. So, so this game is kind of like malware, because you're just stuck in this loop of installing the game, but it's crashing and you can never quite open it up. This game is literally unplayable. And if you look at the Microsoft Store right now for Phantasy Star Online 2, it has like literally like 1 to 2 stars rating because it's a series of people review bombing it because the game literally cannot open up properly for like 90% of the people trying and quitting eventually. So that's great. So, but hey, what if you're able to actually be able to get past that? Like, what if you're the lucky maybe 10% of people who have managed to get past that installation issue and are able to play the game? Well, first of all, you're going to run into the typical like other problems, which is like huge lag right now because everyone's on the game, and that's expected. I think but like. Right. Everything beyond that, like everything prior to that, is just really unfathomable. I have never experienced something like that in my life. I know I'm like exaggerating, like, oh, this is so traumatic. It's not, but it's just like really, really baffling that a game that, has hype around it, that kind of is like, has this like big reputation, in a sense, like the series has a big reputation and it's something that should be, more highly reputable. That's really weird that it has like these very basic, like, technical issue, well, not even basic, these like kind of like be like bizarre technical issues, just that can't be like grasped by someone who is just like an average gamer. Like this is like kind of stupid that you have to do all this work just to kind of make the game work. And I've tried many times, again, like many, in our own Shooch community, like Discord server, like like you can see this loop of other people trying and like constantly failing, just trying to install the game, literally haven't even set foot in the game yet, but other than that, like beyond, like from what I'm hearing, the actual gameplay would gain beyond like the lagging issues due to like just the huge crowd of people, getting into the game and on launch. Like people are saying, yeah, it's decent. It's like they enjoy it. They're having fun. And again, it's like coming from fans, so of course there's that lens. But this is just a very unfortunate situation. Like this should have not happened. This is one of those things I would expect maybe from like a more low end game, like one of those like there's tons of like a jillion free MMOs out there. They're like being supported by kind of ratchety servers that, and like, something weird and buggy would happen. But this is a Sega game. This is technically a Sega game, so baffling.
It's a Sega game that Microsoft is like, like it's a Sega game that Microsoft is like full on pushing really hard, and they couldn't figure out how to get that to work.
Right. Like it's.
What are they doing?
And there's right now, and as far as I know, there hasn't been official say as to how to fix this. I'm assuming there's like a skeleton crew trying to figure out, oh god, what the fuck happened here? Like why is this so problematic to open up for essentially even people would like who I know for a fact have like even more powerful machine of a computer than I, and they're having problems. It's like, what is going on? Like, why is this so buggy? But yeah, astounding. I can't even comment on the actual game beyond what I hear because I can't play it. So that's the Phantasy Star Minute. It's really sad. I feel for you all Phantasy Star fans, but really bad. It really is kind of also baffling too. Like, I don't know why it's a Microsoft exclusive. That's also my other question. So,
well, Microsoft is like funding it.
That's okay.
They funded it coming out over. Yeah. Which just makes it more confusing that it's so, like, sloppily handled on Windows. Like, how are they fucking it up on something that they're, like, a part of? What are they doing?
Right. I don't know.
I have no idea. That's a very weird thing. Thank you for the update, though. I hope they solve it, because a lot of people are really excited to play this game.
Yeah.
And the people that are getting in seem like they're having a good time.
Yeah, definitely does, yeah.
It's a shame. So I guess I could talk about a little bit of news that went down recently. So Dead by Daylight, there was a new trailer and an update to the public test build that added Pyramid Head and Heather Mason, or Cheryl Mason, I guess. Look, I do not know my Silent Hill lore. I apologize if I am.
I mean, you're technically right on both ends, so...
But yeah, so Pyramid Head and Heather/Cheryl, again, I do not want to be offensive to Silent Hill fans. I'm sorry if I am fucking something up. And then also the Midwich Elementary School map, which I guess is the school from Silent Hill. Mm-hmm. All of that is being added to Dead by Daylight. Let me see if there's any, like, conversation about how the different characters work. It says here that Pyramid Head can attack with a ranged attack that goes through objects, and he uses his big-ass blade to dig trenches that survivors will be forced to navigate through or around. A big thing like that. Also, in this game, when a survivor is captured, the villain usually drags them over and hangs them up on a meat hook. But instead, Pyramid Head will actually send them into a cage of atonement, which will speed up the sacrifice, and so I guess people will die faster with Pyramid Head.
That's very interesting. Like, I wonder if it's pandering. Well, not wonder, but it is kind of pandering to like the whole rumors and like like at least hints of hope people have about like, oh, is there gonna be another Silent Hill project, stuff like that. So that's very curious that like they're adding those characters now, as the next additions. Yeah.
So again, I guess the elementary school is from the original Silent Hills.
There's like dead babies there.
This is like, 3 different Silent Hill games. This is 1, 2, and 3.
It's combining
3,
all
Pyramid
those.
Head's from 2.
Yeah, the locations 1, the monsters 2, Heather, grown-up Heather, Cheryl is 3.
And apparently, Cheryl is going to have a skin modeled after Lisa from Silent Hill 1 and 3. Wow. So that's nice. Yeah. I will say, though, that, y'all can argue with me. That's okay. But I feel like a lot of people are flipping out a bit too much about this. Like being like, a Pyramid Head and Cheryl don't appear in the same lore, and Pyramid Head is James's monster. And look, I just feel like if people think about Silent Hill, if you think of Silent Hill monsters, you think of Pyramid Head and you think of like the nurses. That's it.
The hospital. The hospital's the most.
I mean, I mean, if you are not somebody who's like really, really into Silent Hill, again, like if you're really into Silent Hill, I'm sure you have a bunch of monsters that you know of. It's just like if someone who does not know Silent Hill that well, they know Pyramid Head and they know the Bubblehead Nurse. That's what they know. Mm-hmm. And so if you're putting Silent Hill stuff in something in like a big crossover, you're gonna put Pyramid Head in. And then, you know, people like Heather. People like Silent Hill 3. Heather's like a really popular character. Of course, she's the one that is going to be in the crossover. Both of those things make sense. Like, Heather's the most likable Silent Hill protagonist, you know? Like, you talk about, oh, Pyramid Head is James's monster. Do you really want to play as James Sutherland in a video game? like in a fun, like, crossover thing? Like, no. He's a fucking prick. He's a piece of shit. That's the whole point of that game.
And Harry would not make sense in this game because, right, they're you're kids, right? You're like teenagers. Is that yeah? So that would be weird.
Yeah.
So
like Heather is younger.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just it's a bit much. I feel for people who think that Pyramid Head is overplayed because you know he kind of is. Pyramid Head is in a lot of stuff and. I can see why it's like, yeah, it detracts a little bit from the character because, you know, he's in all kinds of stuff and he's supposed to be this very specific threat. Like, I get it. But at the same time, it's Konami in 2020. That's what's going to happen. And, you know, it's nice to see that they're making some sort of reference to Silent Hill anyway. And yeah, who knows? Maybe this is some sort of hint for future Silent Hill stuff. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know. Maybe Konami doesn't even know, but...
I don't think they know either.
Hey. I don't think they know.
No.
But, yeah, that's what's going on with Dead by Daylight. LV, have you been playing any games lately?
Yes. Yeah, given that I could not play Phantasy Star Online 2, but I have been...
Yeah.
I have been playing games. I've been playing kind of like more or less the same ones I've been playing. But in terms of new ones I've been trying, I've been doing my best to kind of explore back onto like the backlog of like, oh yeah, like independent made, you know, indie games and like just seeing like, oh yeah, what demos are available right now. And you know, recently we did have like the wholesome game showcase too, last week I believe that happened. What was definitely not in the wholesome game showcase is this game called Backbone, which is this noirish type text adventure game, you know, featuring a world of anthropomorphic animals. It's very cool. I'm very impressed by it. Basically, a demo is available now if you would like to play it, you know, and see it through. And it's basically, I think, the prologue to in the beginning, maybe of what the actual game will be. But you are basically playing a raccoon private eye named Howard, and he's basically kind of like a low. He's like a low life. You know, he's kind of like the low life stereotypical, like kind of. Not like haphazardly, you know, rugged detective, but more like he's kind of not choosing that. He's kind of like treated as a second-class citizen. And the game makes it explicitly clear it takes place in Canada, which is great. It's like, oh, okay. But anyway, yeah, and the entire world's filled with anthropomorphic animals. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say because it's interesting because I think the demo goes into like really deep story stuff already where it's like, oh, I can't really say much without spoiling it. But it's really gorgeous. It uses the pixelated art style and like how they built it and how it's stylized against like realistic lighting and ambient weather effects is really gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to it. Also, the developer's name is Eggnut, which I think is really funny. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what? Like, every time I see it, and then, like, the sultry music comes up with the game, and it's like, oh, that's a little jarring. But it's like...
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I really loved how, like, when the patron credits came up at the end of the demo, I could tell who were furry names. Like, I could tell people submitted their furry names. It was really good. I was like, wow, beautiful. I know, I'm not saying to make fun of it. I'm just like, oh, that's really wonderful. Yeah, there has been, like, a good rise of anthropomorphic games, and I think because of stuff like... Well, even prior to Animal Crossing being super popular among, like, non-gamers, that's just been an apparent thing. We see that in anime, too, and yeah, in television and other media, so that's, like, kind of cool. Like, it's... But I think my problem, and to talk about Backbone specifically, unfortunately, I think a lot of places don't know how to not use that premise without going into, like, here's a racism allegory, you know? Right? We've seen that so many times, and I think, like, post-Zootopia, you know, Disney's Zootopia, like, I think a lot of, like, these stories don't know how to stop doing that, or, like, just don't know how to do that in a way that's, like, refreshing at least, because at some point it gets tired, and then like when it becomes tired, then it's just kind of like, this might be kind of offensive in a certain degree, right? Especially because he is a raccoon. I'm gonna go into this like heavy topic. He's a raccoon. I will go here, and raccoon, you can look it up, not raccoon explicitly, but a variation of the word raccoon has literally been used actually as a racist slur in real life in history, so that's a little iffy, because it's outright spelled out here, where I think rodents, or like, I think raccoons are marsupials, I believe that. If I'm wrong, please correct me, I'm sorry.
They aren't, they don't have a pouch.
Listeners, please let me know.
I don't know if they're considered a rodent either, but
the stereotype, I think it has a lot to do with the stereotype of like, oh yeah, raccoons are like trash dogs. They like dig through the trash or smell, stuff like that. They like scavengers. But he's like, that's why he's like a second class citizen here. It's played out where like he's mistreated, or not mistreated, but he's like kind of like low key discriminated because of that, and people point that out, and I'm like, oh, that's knowing the historical context of the word raccoon, that's a little weird. So I don't know, but again, like, I'm looking forward to this game. Otherwise, I think it has a very solid presentation. I liked what I played so far, And yeah. Like, again, just to mention patrons, like, yeah, it was one of those games where it was like boosted on Kickstarter first, right? So it's kind of cool, like how we're seeing these combination of different things. Where like, yeah, people are interested in the idea, they will support it. So yeah, I think the actual game itself is not going to come out until next year, but yeah, it's definitely not a wholesome game. It was not the wholesome showcase, I will say that, but it was definitely on some other like independent showcase of recent. As of recent, I forgot the name, but as of recent, to make up for the fact that a lot of gaming shows right now are canceled or have to go online, right? But, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I've been playing a game, too. I ended up getting... Oh, boy. God. Okay, we could just label this as, like, the haunted episode or something. I don't know. Everyone's just gonna have to... look, it's Florida. It's Florida. It's gonna... there's gonna be lightning storms. It happens.
We're talking shit about everybody. Silent Hill, or maybe you're in it right now.
I don't know why I'd be in Silent Hill. I haven't done anything that bad, I don't think.
Hopefully not.
I don't think so. I mean, did Heather... I don't want to get into Silent Hill 3 spoilers on here. I don't know what she fucking did.
Yeah, not everyone has played it, so we don't have to go.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. I've been playing a game. And I played this game a couple of years ago, and I bounced off of it. And then now I got it again. I bought it on the latest Humble Bundle. The Bandai Namco bundle, specifically. Tales of Berseria.
Ooh.
It is a Tales of game, so it is that. But I just know that, like, a lot of people, Rose in particular, really love this game. Like, really love these characters. And I don't know, I mean, I'm not, like, as crazy into them as I was with the characters from Tales of Vesperia. I like Tales of Vesperia a lot. It is, like, super, super good, definitely highly recommended. But Berseria is a lot more of a serious game. Like, the main character, Velvet, is just the most pissed off, like... Listen, I know why Rose loves Velvet. She is a Shadow the Hedgehog-ass character. She is edgy as fuck. She is Ryuko. She is fucking... I don't know, just like black and red, pissed off, getting revenge character. That is the kind of stuff that Rose likes.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
And, yeah. And I don't dislike Velvet, but also, like... I play Vesperia, and Yuri is just like a more well-rounded character. Like, he has his dark past... But then he's also like a chipper kind of character. He's got his fun aspect too. Velvet is just like eyebrows down, frowning forever, just like, I need to kill the guy, like that is her personality. And there's other characters in there that are comic relief. Like, everyone can talk about Magilu. Magilu is this just like shithead witch who is basically becomes like Velvet's girlfriend over the time because she's just like a shithead and is teasing her constantly. But it's very much just like, it's very serious. They don't really let up on that at all. Everyone's really pissed off. And I don't know, I like it, but I definitely prefer Vesperia over it. The combat is also really, really weird. So, like, Vesperia had this too, where, you know, you, like, kind of, like, assign attacks to different buttons. And that's how it works, but then they, like, set it up in this one where there's, like, different chains you can go by, so it's like, if you press square, you do this move. Then if you press triangle, then square, it's a different move. And then if you press triangle, it's one move. If you press triangle, square, like, it's a bunch of, like, chains that you can follow. And it's a little confusing.
Oh, yeah, that does sound confusing. I feel like, especially in lieu of, like, being used to how a turn-based RPG, you know, would just... That is kind of jarring, that you have to kind of pay attention to that, right?
Yeah. But, I just don't know... I don't really know what... Vesperia had some of that stuff, but I feel like in this one it is, like, way more frustrating, just because, like... Even, like, healing attacks or, like, spells are mapped to that. And it could be really frustrating if you're, you know, if you don't memorize all that stuff and then you switch to a different character and it just, like, you accidentally cast a healing spell when you shouldn't. Or you start casting a spell that, like, makes you stand still for a while and then you're just kind of stuck there and it's like, well, shit. So really, it just kind of seems like you should just play as Velvet and not switch characters at all and then just, like, button mash through all the fights.
So it really doesn't spell out, like, okay, like, this combination is this. Like, it doesn't even hint to you.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you really have to, like, memorize it like an actual spell book in a way. Wow, okay.
I mean, you can go in and, like, edit the combos.
Right.
You can do what you want, but again, like, if you don't memorize before you get into the fight, it's not like there's, like, a prompt. I think the game would honestly be better if there was just, like, some kind of prompt where whenever you get in a fight, whoever you switch to, if it just showed, like, the buttons, you know, like the 4 buttons for attacking, and they just, like, told you what each move was going to do on each button. That would help out a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But they don't do that. They don't do that at all, and it's kind of messy. So yeah, combat is just kind of bad in that game. It's really bad, but, you know, I want to get through the story. I want to see how the characters progress, and I also just have a lot of fun fucking with the character models, because you can get different items. Like, something that a lot of Tales of games will let you do is you just get, like, different costumes and different, like, things that you stick onto your characters. And it's all very funny. But this game just lets you really go ham on it, and you could just make items extremely large and move them around. Like, for example, I just, like, on the samurai guy, I just took a cowboy hat, and I put it sideways and upside down and gigantic and covered his entire, like, the top of his head. Like his bust, like his shoulders up is just a cowboy hat upside down, sideways.
And it just sticks like that. It doesn't, like, automatically fix it either.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Like, and that's how it is, like, in cutscenes. That's how it is in combat.
Good.
He just looks like that. The little boy, the, like, little boy mage, I just put an eye patch on him, but then I made the eye patch gigantic and red and, like, floating off of him. So not even a single pixel of the item is touching his body. It's just floating in front of him. And then if he's, like, in a cutscene or something, very often he'll just, like, cover up people's faces, cover up his own face.
Right.
It's very funny. I have no idea why they decided that would be a good idea, especially in a game that is so goddamn, like, self-serious. I guess it kind of helps to, like, for a little levity here and there. But it's very dumb. And I do love that. But still, very weird.
Yeah, I think more, like, recent RPGs of late happen when, you know, like, you get different items and stuff, but, like actually wearing different equipment and stuff, you can see it in cutscenes, and I think that's been a more recent phenomenon I've been noticing in recent games. But otherwise, that flexibility in this one, that should be allowed in every game, I think. Like, just let it be, just ruin every cutscene and go ham on it. But yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad like that's allowed too.
But yeah, it's you know, it's like, I'm glad that I picked it up for as cheap as it was, because honestly, like, I picked up I got the $15 thing because I wanted to get Tekken 7, and I haven't messed around with Tekken that much, but because honestly, I kind of want to, like, play with friends and learn it.
Yeah.
But just playing with myself, or playing by myself, Tales of Berseria, you know, it's single player, it's not really anything. I think there is some sort of multiplayer, though, because I think you can have different people playing as the different characters, which is kind of cool in theory, but seems like a bit much to set up.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys.
Yeah. Like
y'all want to play? Y'all want to wait until I get into boss battles? You got to be in or not boss. Y'all want to wait until I get into random battles and button mash for like 15 seconds and then sit there again?
Yeah, I definitely seen also some other RPGs who that claim they have multiplayer too. But again, yeah, it's similar to what you suggested, where it's like you're playing a different character, but then it's kind of weird in terms of like the rest of the gameplay outside of combat. Like, what are they doing?
Because you're just walking around areas and collecting items. Yeah,
it's your turn to control the overhead map navigation. You know, like overworld map navigation.
Yeah, it's
like,
a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's fine. I got Katamari on there too. I'll play some more Katamari.
That's definitely like a time sucker. I think that's definitely a super replayable game. It's just
Katamari whips ass. What other news do you have?
Oh, I.
Yes.
Nothing. Okay, so this is not that significant in the world of like immediacy right now in terms of like what people know. So Magic Leap is this company. If one doesn't know, Magic Leap is this company that launched like in 2009, and I'm talking about this because this is kind of significant to me as someone who's kind of been aware of their existence for like a while and been kind of keeping up with them personally because I stumbled upon a flyer of theirs in New York Comic Con in that very year and was like, what is this? And it literally was just like a pamphlet of different comics, and they never really advertised what they were. So I thought they were like some new comic publisher coming up and, up and coming at that time. But no, actually there's some sort of tech startup that is trying to hop in on like the AR game and hop in like the not necessarily VR, but the AR game, the augmented reality game. And they've existed for like these past 10 years, but they haven't really put anything out like in terms of an actual demo of a product they're selling. They've been kind of always like, so what's funny about them is that they're one of those like if a person was an organization, they're one of those people who is always like, I'm working on it. But in reality, no, they're not working on it. They're not working on that project you commissioned, my poor fellow person. They are someone who's going to do it by procrastinating at the very last minute of the deadline. In all of their years of existence, they have never developed a real headset of anything. So I do not know where they're getting the money. As of recent news, they had a lot of layoffs. That's pretty sad. And the most recent thing is that their CEO, the founder of this company, Magic Leap, has decided to step down because, saying the company's decided to restructure because, problems. So they're trying to focus more on quote unquote enterprise, like enterprising essentially. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, again, their main goal was to make an AR headset. But by the time they did actually put out one in 2018, like 8 years later since their founding, and in between they were putting out teasers of like, this is how the experience will look like. So there's like a famous clip of like a school gym that I think a lot of people will recognize if I describe it. A school gym, but it's edited in so it looks like a whale is, flopping over in the middle of the gym, and it looks quite convincing, But it's obviously fake, but it looks really convincing, and like it's timed with like the kids like like oohing and ahhing and gasping at it, and that's a clip that has definitely gone around like online, even out of context, without realizing this is attached to this company. This is actually intended to be like a demo suggestion of like what Magic Leap was trying to make with these AR glasses. And eventually they finally had like these glasses, this headset up for testing in 2018, and they sucked. Everyone said, this sucks. This is not good. Compared to like a lot of, compared to AR tech, like at that point in time, stuff like Pokemon Go already came out. Niantic has already done tons of projects like that were far superior to like whatever this company was putting out. And it just sucked. And eventually they did put out like one for retail release, but they were selling it for like almost $2,000 to $3,000. No one was going to invest in this thing that was like less than impressive. So lo and behold, we're here now in 2019 to 2020. Unfortunately, there was like a series of layoffs that happened, and now we have our CEO who's stepping down. He might remain on the board, from my understanding, but that c'est la vie. But it's just very interesting how like to this day, things like VR, like which is right now is I think we were talking about with other Cheech people, but like VR, like especially with how like mobile games and things like online games in general are just doing so well. For one to have a VR home headset right now is super ideal in this situation where we're all kind of have to still be inside for the most part until we hear updates as to terms of how the public health crisis is going to be like handled here on out, towards towards how much time will pass, right? It's just baffling to me that we have yet to reach a point where this is more accessible, right? You know, or like at least better, you know? I feel like there's a lot of things out there that is, you know, like, there's a lot of VR games out there and a lot of VR, like, apps, etc. Like, experiences that are great and all, but if you boil down to it, a lot of them don't need to be VR. I literally can only think of, like, Beat Saber being like, oh yeah, this is a great, like, rhythm game using the idea of like using an interactive VR headset to its full capabilities, or AR, you know, like whatever you want to, you know, like translate, you know, like whatever you want to prefer, right? You know, like seeing something within your real space or seeing something in like a purely fictional space, right? But yeah, if you don't know about Magic Leap, that you learned it from me. But who knows if they will exist here on out still from literally making nothing. And I always suspected they're one of those companies that might be secretly a money laundering scheme. I'm like, where are they getting all this money? How are they staying in existence and not really doing anything? So I don't know. I did look into their history, and they have like obtained investments from foreign overseas things or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to think about it too hard. I'm convinced they might be secretly a money laundering scheme too. So hey, there's that. Like one of the harsh reviews of like the one headset they did put out, again, only one. The one that sucked was that, you know, someone really literally pointed out like, oh, they probably just spent all their money on marketing and not actually developing proper technology, which I think makes sense. Besides my money laundering scheme conspiracy theory, but there's that. So
I believe it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I firmly do have like faith in VR, but it's just interesting that no one's talking about it. I think no one's really discussing like, yeah, like what's the next thing, you know, like besides like VR chat and I don't know, feeling Minecraft in real life, you know, like I don't know, like it's a little hard for me to predict too. I mean, there's also like Apple, who's supposedly, you know, Apple phones, sorry, not games necessarily, but they do have like their games or whatever. But like, you know, there's a rumor right now of Apple like themselves like hopping on the idea of like smart glasses. You know, Google was testing that around like a few years ago too. So we'll see. The future may be bleak, but also there are bright spots, and I think. Actually, no, I don't think VR will solve that. but I do. It's just weird. It's kind of like in a stagnant place. It's been in a stagnant place for a while. That's essentially what my conclusion is. And I would like to see an upset at some point. You know, I feel like that's the next thing that gaming really should explore.
BlizzCon got canceled.
Yeah, it did.
Not really a surprise.
Not surprising. Everything in California is canceled until next year. So
yeah. So that it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening. Likely, like a digital event, might happen at a time. I would expect that. So they said that
there will be.
Yeah.
They said that.
Yeah.
There will be one early 2021, a digital event that will channel the BlizzCon spirit.
Oh, jeez. What are they going to announce next? Like, I mean, okay, Overwatch 2.
So they have Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, right. Diablo Immortal, and the new World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion to talk about.
Yes, the one that might be controversial, like might be a Final Fantasy rip-off. Potentially, we don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I can't speak of that. Like I've only played, like WoW briefly, but never played Final Fantasy. So, oh geez, well.
They have stuff they can talk about.
They do have stuff they can talk about.
Now they won't. Oh well.
Man, I don't know. Blizzard really, I don't know, like I don't want to sound mean, but like I as for anyone who's like a really still super hardcore Blizzard fan, right? Like not hardcore, and like I know like people still play Overwatch, and that's cool. Like I know tons of people play Overwatch, like once in a while you open it up again. But people are really like hardcore, like culty faithful right now. You have some strong spirit. Like I don't know what's going on with you, but you have such great like I don't know. I hope you're well. I hope you're okay. I'm praying for you.
That's all we can really do is pray for your safety. Not really too much other than that, though, I will say. Just kind of that. And then also, just I guess real quick, I'll mention that Street Fighter V is getting 5 more characters. Wow.
I actually don't know who's, like... I don't know. I don't hear a lot about like people playing Street Fighter. I mean, again, maybe like competitive players, but like in terms of just normal player base.
Honestly, that is why this is such a surprise.
Yeah,
is that
haven't heard like a blip about that like in a while. So
I mean, there's a couple of like really obvious characters that I feel like it's kind of wild that they haven't been added yet. Like we have the original Street Fighter set, like the original Street Fighter 2 characters.
Right.
Those are all in there.
Yeah.
But like. Sea Viper and Oro are both in like a lot of stuff in Street Fighter V, like in the story modes, and they are not playable.
Yeah, that's
so
weird.
I feel like they're probably going to be in there. But then there's 3 other characters. Who knows what they are? Mm-hmm. They might be new characters. They might be old characters. Who knows? Mm-hmm. So they will be coming this summer, and there will also be 3 more stages. There will probably be some sort of reveal during EVO Online. We don't know exactly when that'll be. We know when it'll be. It'll be during July, but we don't know when Street Fighter is going to be shown exactly. And then they also have the Champion Edition, which, I mean, you can go out and buy that, but that's not going to include this. So, are they going to release another physical release with all these other characters? Because they said this is going to be it. They said this is the final season. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's really weird. They probably shouldn't have put out that version, because that's a really weird thing, and then people are going to be pissed that they didn't buy the final version. I don't know. It's very weird. It's very weird that they did that.
Yeah, like, just making people pay twice for, like, what could have been something they had to begin with. Like, fighting games are, like, in a weird place right now, I think, because we're kind of in this lull, and without, I guess, the summer events and summer shows that really boost up the hype for them, especially in the competitive scene, it's not really there right now. I think especially I think in recent times, like again with EVO, like, you know, like what's happening there, like in Soul Calibur, who knows what the fuck's happening with Soul Calibur? It's just kind of once again in cobwebs. They're really bad, I think, at like marketing any new updates to this game, or like I don't know, they take huge gaps in between their seasonal updates, so I have been pretty out of the loop with that. I know like Dragon Ball Fighter Z has announced Roshi as a new character. Unfortunate, but that was, I think, inevitable. You know, he literally is like an iconic character from the franchise, so, you know, like undeniably that. Mm-hmm. So, but it's kind of like the steam around them has, I think, been in a lull in general. Like if I'm talking about like the regular player base, I think that people are exploring other types of online games right now, which is not fighter games.
I don't know. It's a very strange time.
Yes,
for Street Fighter. I mean, like, I feel like everyone was kind of sitting there thinking that they were just going to make 6. Mm-hmm. But now they're doing this.
And it was like, oh, yeah. It's been quite some time, too. This game is... How old is this game now? I just wonder.
Like, it came out around the time that the PS4 came out. Yeah. It's been, like, the whole console generation, basically.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I mean, that's impressive in a sense, but also just, like, people weren't really too keen on this game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely divisive, I think.
It is a very middling game, I feel like. It's not horrible, but it's very lean. It's not very impressive overall. Like,
right.
Look at something like Street Fighter 4 mm-hmm. and how beloved that game was.
Right,
and
exactly.
How feature-rich that game was. And I feel like Street Fighter 5 is getting to the point that Street Fighter 4... Like, I feel like when Street Fighter 5 is done, it'll be about how Street Fighter 4 was when it hit, like, Super Street Fighter 4.
Yeah. It's gonna, like, just
and
be a
then they have, like, 2 more big updates after that, you know?
Right, yeah.
I mean, game development's different. Game development's very different now. So you do have to take that into account. But it took Street Fighter V a while to get to something passable. It took them a long time to get to something that wasn't, like, actively embarrassing. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Like, who knows? I don't even know if I want a Street Fighter 6. Recent Capcom fighting games have not been good. Mm-hmm. And then there's all this talk of, are they going to do Darkstalkers?
Oh.
Like, I want a Darkstalkers, but I also don't want a Darkstalkers. I want a Rival Schools, I also don't want a Rival Schools, you know? Like, I don't want them to bring these franchises back and then just kill them again.
Yeah, you don't want them to bring back something you loved only for them to ruin it, so then it taints your initial perception.
Marvel. They killed Marvel!
Yeah, they did.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want that. I don't want them to bring something back and then kill it. So yeah, so there's Street Fighter news. We'll update you on what characters they are once we know what characters they are.
In very dramatic fashion, yes.
Yes. Elvie, what else is going on with you?
Okay. So one other game I played, like, this past week, because it literally came out last week, is a clear, deliberate product of the quarantine right now. And there's been many excellent things, honestly, popping, like, with this quarantine, like, many, especially in the music industry. I think, like, the music industry is, like, doing, at least I would say in the independent music industry, like, it's doing really well, and, like, influencing some very creative stuff coming out of there and what some artists are doing. And I would say the same is going on with video games, and I haven't really checked on, like, again, smaller projects and, like, people have it. But, anyway, this game called Left on Red, you know, if you're an old person and don't know what that means, basically if you're messaging or SMS, like, app or whatever you use to text people, or even like when you're DMing people on, like, social media, like some of them have it, like, usually sometimes they have, like, a read receipts setting on, so you know if someone read your message or not, or at least opened up that window with your messaging window. So that's what the term means, and the term is referring to the fact that, like, oh, it's, like, insulting that someone read an important message to you but they didn't bother responding, like, or they're ignoring it, so, and they're choosing to ignore it. So that's kind of like the phrase. But yes, Left on Red is, like, a clear, direct byproduct of the quarantine right now. Is one of those projects made during it. And I think it literally was made, like, this past month, and they put it out, whoever made this, like, put it out, like, last week. And the whole narrative around Left on Red is basically you're playing this, you're playing this this guy in college, who he's entering his sophomore year in college, and he realizes he has feelings for this girl he's texting. And he's realizing, like, oh shit, like, this quarantine's really making me realize the height of my feelings for this girl. I have a crush on her. He starts feeling all these regrets about asking her out, and, like, the whole game is basically him trying to have this awkward conversation, talking with this girl, you know, again, they're college students, and, you know, just general conversations about, like, oh yeah, how are you doing, and stuff like that. And it's one of those games where you have to make a choice on, like, some of the messages he sends her, and essentially the two outcomes is either that, yeah, you end up with the girl, like, and the game's very optimistic about this timeline, where, like, you know, back in, like, it actually jumps past, like, even beyond June, actually, in the game. Like, the game's chapters are, like, dates. So, like, it starts up literally the day the game was released, I think, like, in, like, early May, and then moves forward, and, like, ends in, like, August, I think, like, August this year, which has yet to happen, from the point I'm saying, you know, talking in this recording, right? August 2020, and, like, it ends there with him going back to college, and he's messaging the girl as they're moving back in. So, like, the only two outcomes, really, though I don't know how to get the bad outcome, because I've read people are struggling to get the bad outcome, which is interesting, is that he gets with the girl or he not. So, like, he ends with her, I'm assuming, ignoring him, you know, that's kind of like the joke of the title. And it's like, oh, okay, you know, it's, my whole point now that I'm going to say is, like, sometimes your idea does not need to be a full video game. Like, I feel like this is one of those things where it's a full story you can get within a few like, just a brief, like, less than an hour. I felt like this game was a little too long. The other problem is it was not what I expected. This is a jumping platform game. I thought this was, like, a text, like, narrative visual novel game. No. So the way the game is, it's like you're on this, like, black screen and the text message bubbles pop up. And you're, like, this, you're controlling this cube and you have to jump across the text bubbles. It's like, bubbles.
What?
But you're jumping across this cube and letting it progress, and it's, like, the worst. Okay, I'm exaggerating again, but, like, it's a very, very dry, like, unexciting experience. And it you know, at times it also emulates the real time weight of loading and stuff. And it's, like, for me to, like there are times where you're just, like, the jumping platform is not, like, it doesn't feel smooth a lot of times. It feels kind of clunky. I don't feel the physics or the weight of, like, the cube that you're controlling. First of all, it's a cube. I don't know why it's a cube. I don't know why it's not anything else that would be more visually interesting or, like, has any semblance to the theme of the game. and you have to make your selection where there's like going to be multiple text bubbles that I keep saying bubbles pop up, and you have to jump on one of them, and there's a chance you're going to miss because the jumping is so bad that you might accidentally land on the wrong choice. So I don't know, like it's a weird arbitrary way to present this idea, and again, it boils down to my thought where, like, just because you have a good idea, and it is a good idea, I think it's a good concept that should be explored as an artistic medium in some way, but it doesn't mean you have to, like, translate it in a way that is very, like, oh yeah, like, this is, like, I don't know, like just to resurface a little bit about, like, are video games art, like, that question, and video games as art, like, I don't know, I felt like whoever, the guy who made this, I think it's a man, I'm pretty sure it's a man, this is like I was playing it, this is like a very heterosexual man, like, perspective.
Yeah, you can probably tell.
Yeah, and, I felt like he probably felt like, oh no, I need to have, like, some sort of explicit video game mechanic, like, he's, like Mario, like, I don't know, I feel like the person who made this is, like, they actually have not explored many video games, not to judge, but it feels like that, it feels like they have not really explored how vast video games are and how diverse they are, where I personally think, like, this could have been a way simpler, like, straightforward text game, like, that could be, and that makes way more sense, but this guy was like, no, yeah, Super Mario Brothers, that's a game. So, like, we're gonna have a jumping. This game is gonna be like you jumping across like the text bubbles, like Mario. I don't know, like going across the level. So, I don't know. It was a little weird, but yeah, it's like it's a cute concept to explore, especially around this time, inspired by this time. But it's just like it doesn't have to be a video game. You don't have to like okay. Also, like to add on to the fact that it's like very contrived and kind of like pretentious. It's like it's framed with like this random poetry, like in the beginning and end about like distance is not so some I forget exact words, but something about like trying to be touching about like like long distance doesn't mean the end or something like that. It's just like, oh, sometimes like long distance like can bring you closer to someone you love. I don't know. It was just very cheesy too. And, but I was very surprised that like the teenagers did sound like teenagers. I was very surprised by that. I didn't expect that at all, but say lovey. I don't think everything needs to be a game. Like if you have a good idea, you can think about it in other ways, or rather, I don't think everything needs to be a certain type of game. That you're thinking like again like there's a variety of games where like there's little to no interactivity, and I think that's also as effective. So I don't know. I'm very shocked by how like this game is well left on red's very well treated. I think it's cheesy. That's what I'm saying. Again I respect it, but that that's where I'm at. I just think it's a little silly though.
Yeah, that is like. That is cheapening whatever message it was trying to make, and also, it doesn't sound like the message it was trying to make was very poignant anyway.
Yeah. It's like I think it tried to put itself on a pedestal in a way that is like, no, this is not that provocative. Like, yes, no. Long distance relationships are a thing, and yeah, I don't know. It was just, when I finished it, I was like, wow, I this could have been like 10 minutes, but I spent 30 minutes trying to finish this thing. Wow. So, but it's there. It's actually free to play too, so it's worth checking out if you're just like, what is she talking about? Like, yeah, please check it out. Like, I'm very curious about anyone else who's willing to try it, and if you have the same sentiments as me. I'm very shocked by like how many people are like, this is wonderful. Like, this touched my heart. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is very manipulative. But yeah, that's my experience playing it. But otherwise, yeah. I'm very open to hearing what other people might say if they were willing to try it.
All right, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is just something that I'm only going to talk about for a little bit because I just got it and I didn't play too much. But I got the new version of Xenoblade Chronicles, the original.
Nice.
So I finished 2, and now I'm playing 1.
Have you played 1 before, prior, or no? This is your.
So this is probably going to be the first time I finish it.
Oh,
if
okay,
I do finish it.
Yeah.
I got the 3DS version when that came out, and
yeah,
that is not the way you should play that game.
Very rough. Yeah.
Have you played it?
Yes, I have. But again, like you, I have not finished it, so that might be my same like reason for needing to get the definitive edition. Yeah. It's a wonderful game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat.
It is neat.
I've only gotten a little ways into it again, like because it was a busy day. But goodness gracious, it's super pretty. They updated the character models to be more like Xenoblade 2's, kind of like a mixture between Xenoblade 2 and the original. So they're not full on anime, but they're definitely a little bit more soft and inviting, which I appreciate. I think it looks really nice. And it's, other than that though, it's pretty much the same game. It's, you're doing the combat just like it was. It's way more MMO in this game. Xenoblade 2 is a bit more active. It's definitely got that MMO style, but in this one it is super MMO combat. You basically have a hotbar that you're scrolling around and press buttons on. That is how that works. But I don't know, it's pretty okay. I still have to get further into it. But again, I don't have too much to say. I will talk more about it next week because I will have played a good chunk. Because it's not going to be on the Switch, so I can, lay in bed and play it. Or, I'm not going out anywhere, but I guess those are my options. It's lay in bed or on the TV. I saw some people saying that the undocked version is, kind of ugly looking, but, it's the undocked version of a Switch game. What are you going to do?
Right.
I enjoy it. I enjoy what I have played so far, and I look forward to talking more about it next week. But until then, just check out Xenoblade 2. That is my general opinion.
Yeah, I haven't touched 2, but I know you love it, and have boasted about it, but haven't gotten quite there yet. And,
I feel like you'd like it.
I'm pretty sure I would, and but here, I don't know, also hearing out of context English voice acting from games like this is really enticing. I don't know, what was it, the Scottish cat girl? I was like, whoa.
Oh, we love Nia here.
Yeah, she seems to be a fave, so I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm. We love Nia here. Okay, so I think that's it other than the questions. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or shall we move on to that?
No, let's move on to questions.
Okay. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like these folks right here. Anonymous asks, Mega Man Battle Network is celebrating its 20-year anniversary next year. What does your inevitable Battle Network Legacy Collection look like? Does it include the Star Force games? So, I think my answer... Oh, so I have two answers. I have what it should be, and what it's going to be. What it should be is you should have everything. You should pay $40 or maybe $50, because it's a lot of games. It's a lot of big games. Hell, maybe even $60. I don't know. Just you pay one price and you get all of them. That's what I think.
I agree with you, because from my I have not played all of them. I'll say that. From my memories of playing them as a bab, not that far long ago, actually. They're all good. I don't know. I it's kind of hard to pick, to be honest. I agree with you, because it's just it's just interesting how it's just interesting how they're. I don't know. I don't know if they had any. I don't know what the recent ones are like, but I definitely recall just having fun with almost the entire. I don't know, Game Boy Advance, life. That I've had, I don't know.
I feel you.
Yeah. I never played the GameCube one. I don't know what that one is like.
That one is an actual Mega Man game. The network transmission. Yeah, it's an actual Mega Man.
Yeah.
I've heard it's pretty okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never played the DS ones. I think I was pretty much in that stuck in that GBA era, and after that I kind of was looking at I was kind of looking at other games on the DS, but from what I recall, it was very fun, and I played it with a cousin too, and he never gave back my one of my copies. I forgot which one. I think it was literally I know, fucked up. I think it was Blue Moon or something. I think so. I think it was that one.
I think that's 4. Yeah,
it's the 4th one then, chronologically. Okay.
Yeah. It should have everyone. It should have Star Force. It should have all of those collected, ready to play in one game. But how Capcom's going to do it is, I'm going to predict they're going to split it up into 3 releases. I bet they'll do half the Battle Networks, the other half of the Battle Networks, and then another game for Star Force. I think that's what they'll do. And each of them will be $40.
It kind of does make sense. It's a lot. you know.
It does. I mean, I guess I'll understand them if they do that, because yeah, you're right. It is a lot of game, like especially with the
They're
different
like full
versions.
games. Yes,
yeah, you know, because they're gonna have to be like, yeah, you know, you got like the Blue Moon and White, whatever, like all that stuff. They have to have both versions of the game.
Yeah.
Or maybe they might just do some kind of thing where they combine them. You know, there's a chance they could do that.
I mean,
because like for one of the DS games, there was like there was a version that like they did the 2 releases, and then a little later on they did like a 3rd version that combined them. So maybe they'll just do that.
Yeah, they should do that with the older ones.
They should do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, I would just like for all of these games to be preserved, and I would love for them to make new ones too, because people really like those games.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anonymous asks, this is a John question, I guess.
Oh no.
Why have we not seen a Pumpkin the King of Ghosts retrain? So they're asking about a specific Yu-Gi-Oh card, Pumpkin the King of Ghosts. And we have.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's the big pumpkin that Bones used in the anime.
Yeah, this is an anime card too.
Yeah. They made a new version of Pumpkin. Jack O'Bolin. That just came out like a couple of months ago, and it's actually pretty good in zombie decks. So, hey, look it up. Jack O'Bolin. It's good. I used that card.
Oh my gosh, there's a Pum Princess. The Princess of Ghosts.
Yeah, there's also Pum Princess.
Is there a whole royal family?
I think there's only like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's just Pum King, Pum Princess, and then like Jack O'Bolin, and maybe like one more. I don't remember. Anonymous asks, does Travis Touchdown take a shit every time he saves, or does he just sit on the toilet to relax sometimes?
I think he just sits down to relax sometimes, because, you know, why not? If he has, like, one of those... Okay, actually, I don't know. I feel like he's one of those people who has, like, a toilet that the seat warms up. A warm, you know, is a warm setting.
At home?
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, you know, like when he saves outside of his home. And he sits on the toilet.
I think, why not? I think it reminds him of, like, the comfort of home, you know? And it makes him feel safe.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, like, his assassination gigs are kind of jobs.
Yeah. It's stressful.
Who among us has not gone into the bathroom and just sat in there for, like, 15 minutes just to, like, relax? Be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to the bathroom, boss, you know? Like, I mean, it's bad that we have to do that. We shouldn't have to do that, but also... Who among us has not done that? So I absolutely think that he's not shitting every single time.
He's probably just, you know, like, yeah, sometimes if you feel bad, and unfortunately you don't want to be around your coworkers, you're like, I just gotta take a breather in the bathroom, because you can't really go out, you know, sometimes you can't just do that. He's probably just reflecting. Like, why not?
But he's absolutely shitting some of the times, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's an audible flush a lot of times. Or he's just wasting water, who knows.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because you know what? Sometimes people flush the toilet to hide the sounds of anything else. Or they want to just, they don't want to sound like they didn't use the toilet. Like, oh, why is this person especially in the stall? And they didn't do anything. You gotta flush the toilet. You gotta make it sound like you used that toilet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lots of reasons. Lots of things to think about. Suda51, if you're listening out there, you need to answer this question for real. You need to tell us how often does Travis
listening
Touchdown
on
shit?
the toilet as we speak.
Is Travis Touchdown regular? Does he shit once a day?
I hope he is. He probably doesn't not. I don't think he doesn't eat healthily.
I'm gonna guess no.
No, he doesn't eat he doesn't eat well.
Oh no. Absolutely not. I would guarantee that.
That's why he's on the toilet all the time.
I bet he's got like real fucked up like thighs though from sitting on the toilet so much. He's probably got he's got some issues down there, I bet. Yeah.
Like bed sores.
I checked it.
Bad.
Yeah. Ugh. And to round this off, Harlequin Wheels asks, what's the longest you've ever, quote-unquote, played a game without touching the controller? For example, watching the cutscenes near the end of a Yakuza game. I'll get the easy answer out of the way, but it is absolutely the answer for me, is all the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4. There are multiple parts of that game where there are like an hour of cutscenes that you are just sitting there and not doing anything. So absolutely Metal Gear Solid 4. That is my answer.
Yeah, I finally recently did get Death Stranding. Yes, this is a very accurate experience with a Kojima joint. Nonetheless, but I do feel it on in the Yakuza cutscenes. I feel the same but in a way that they're not long. They really are enticing, and then when it transitions back to the gameplay, I don't feel this jarring thing where it's like, oh yes, I have to like get back into the zone. Like, no, I'm kind of like still in the mental head game. Like, yeah, this is a game. Whereas, yeah, like I think the often common criticisms of like at least Kojima's more recent work that he has done, like, yeah, the cutscenes are really detached, I think, from the game itself. You know, it's like, it really takes you out.
Just, the Hideo Kojima answer, basically. Just, that is the answer. It's Hideo Kojima games.
Yes.
Alright, I think that should do it. Quick and easy, I guess, for this one. I guess I'll just say Niall. I'm sorry for making it a little difficult
on this dark and stormy night.
The storm, yeah. But there you go. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. It was a lovely time talking to you, LV.
Yeah, same to you.
Where can we find your other stuff? What's going on with you?
You can honestly check out my Twitter at LV, literally the letters LVMAEPARIAN, LV Mayparian, and you're just gonna be bound to see me promoting things here and there. I just been kind of detached from like posting so proactively on social media as I have been, because we all need to, again, like I think as we said in the beginning, we all need to kind of like just step away for a bit sometimes, take take your eyes away off the screen, because stuck here staring at it all like every day, single day, and it gets a little too much to you, especially if there's like a lot negative news here, and you just want to detoxify from that once in a while, But otherwise, like my Twitter is the best place, I think, to check my stuff out if I'm on anywhere else, or if I'm promoting anywhere else, or once in a while we'll post artwork again at some point. But yeah, that's where I am. That's like a better place to find me.
All right. And, of course, if you want to keep up with Video Game Choo Choo, follow us on Twitter at VGChooChoo, or Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We have our YouTube channel, youtube.com/videogamechoochoo, I'm pretty sure. Or you could just look us up on there. We have our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/VGChooChoo. We haven't streamed in a hot minute, but you know what? Maybe we will soon. I'd love to see some streams. I'd love to do some streams. Be fun. Of course, we have our other content. We have Choo Choo Guys Unlimited Train Works, which LV and I do with Rose. It's always fun to talk about anime with you and Rose. Mm-hmm. And of course, we also have the Sekiro Let's Play, and that updates when it updates about every other Friday. And we also are working on that Doom Let's Play. We got stuff coming. It's coming, folks. I promise. It is happening. And, of course, I mean, if you want to get early access to that, it's $3 on our Patreon at patreon.com/VGCC. Just putting it out there, because honestly, this week, I would say, at least for the next while, don't worry about giving us Patreon money. Go spread your funds to people who need it to fight racial injustice around the world, in America especially, though. I would say that is a good way to spend your money. But, if you have $3 extra lying around and you want to listen to some dumb people talk about anime and mess around in Sekiro, it's there. It's there if you want. Of course, thank you to Melt Channel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to more of their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com, or look up Magic Circuit on Spotify. They have great music. I guarantee it. And of course, come hang out with us in Discord, thegamezone.zone. There's plenty of really great people on there. We're always just talking about concepts, ideas, posting videos, posting images. All the things you can do on Discord, you can do in thegamezone.zone. It's a lovely time. You can follow me on Twitter at JOHN_MICHONSKI. I'm on there talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Mostly. I pulled some really fucking good Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards right before we started. I've been riding on that this entire episode. So, if I've been sounding a little that's because I pulled it real good. So, But yes, thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. Stay safe. Keep on fighting the good fight. Thank you so much to everyone out there. We'll be back next week. So long.